Alright, let's get back to this. Write me an endless song, as I wish that I could eat the air to soul waves. Now write me an endless song. Okay then. Been a day or so since I last played, and I still have absolutely no idea what I'm supposed to be doing. What else can I do? Can't examine these. Oh, here we go. God damn it. I had to examine the coffee. I thought I already did that. Aha! So the poison was in here. This is my first time seeing a real poison mug of coffee. I would hope so. Poisoned coffee? Not exactly, actually. What do you mean? No traces of poison were found on the coffee. What? You'll have to figure out the rest yourself. I'm officially not on your side after all. Ma. This fucking thing. Hey, look there! That stain doesn't look so healthy, Apollo. That must be the Blue Mountain stuff we've been hearing about. Oh, that was still Trucy. Something tells me that even Blue Mountain coffee isn't this blue. Now the stain's probably... better ask Emma. Can you tell us about this thing? This stain? Emma, about this mug? There's a pale blue residue on the rim. Eh? Ah, that! Yes, well, it's just a rumor. But I've heard there's a kind of coffee called Blue Mountain. I'm pretty sure it isn't actually blue, Emma. Ah, right. Okay, you got me. It's left over from my testing spray. Forensic science! I knew your hobby was behind this somehow, Emma. It's not a hobby. So, what kind of scientific stuff were you up to? This spray, that's what. It turns blue when it touches poison. So, the poison that killed the victim was on this mug? That's right, see? It was in the coffee. The killer applied it to the rim of the mug itself. Wow, science is amazing! It certainly is helpful. Maybe Emma'd be willing to help us out a bit more. You should try buttering her up, Apollo. They say flattery will get you everywhere. We're doing this again. About poison analysis. That's great you're going to ask about that. See, this solution is used to test for atroquinine. Atroquinine? Huh? Atroquinine! The deadly poison found on the autopsy. Uh-oh, I know that spark in her eyes. She's getting excited. Best tread lightly. It's like the most virulent poisons, but it's absorbed into the body astonishingly slowly. It takes at least 15 minutes from the time of ingestion to for adverse effects to show. Oh, and guess what? Recent research has shown... that's fine, really. We don't need to know all the gory details. I think I get it. You just spray the stuff on something you want to test, right? Precisely. You can find even the slightest trace of poison with this. I want to try it too, Emma. Pretty please. You don't have to ask twice. I already used it on everything suspicious, of course. Yay, let's give it a whirl, Apollo. Ow, what are you doing? I was just seeing if I got a reaction off of you. How's this for a reaction? Never do it again! I'm not poisonous! Tell that to those hapless witnesses on the stand. Let's just get down to checking for real poison, shall we? How... How the hell does this work? Huh? Shit, of all the times to not get a tutorial. Huh? Too bad, no reaction there. I'm sure Emma checked out all the likely spots. Wait a second. What is it, Apollo? Did you spray that little desk over there? I don't think so. The spray probably can't reach that far, you know. Let's check it out, just to be sure. What? Eek! Her reaction, Apollo! Oh! Where? The inside of that cute little frame, look! Well, would you look at that? Nice going, Trucy. I'm known to work magic. Never mind that, I was the one who found it. Why would the inside of that frame have poison on it? Looks like we found the only other place that was poisoned in any case. So, Emma, I was wondering, what's the story about this reporter that came here for a story the night of the crime? Ah, I'm afraid I can't tell you because he's going to be a witness tomorrow, I hear. I thought so. I'll never forget that face. What was his name? Oh, right. Brushell. Brushell? Brushell? He's after a scoop to sell to the papers. So a reporter comes for an interview with a painter. His first interview ever, and that night he's killed. Seems strange to you? Really strange. Does raise a few questions. I'd like to speak with this reporter if I could. Well, I hear he's on the beat today, too. He said something about covering a magician. Magician? Well, if it's not Trucy, that leaves only one other person. It wasn't Val Gramarye by any chance, was it? Yeah, something like that. He's got some big show lined up, I hear. So he's out interviewing Val Gramarye. Looks like I'll be heading out to that Coliseum again sooner than I thought. Here, I'll give you that reporter's card if you want. The plot thickens. Spark Brushell, freelance journalist. Top dollar for information. Looks like you have to take this back part off first to put a photo inside. It'd have to be a really small photo to fit in there. True, that pale bluish stain. Why'd there be poison in a place like this? Well, there's one obvious reason. Farrah put poison in a coffee rubbed a bit of on here too. That's not very obvious, Trucy. Right, finally. the plot moves. Nope. Am I supposed to talk to you first? So, a journalist was here on a story? All eyes in the universe are upon my stage. All pens seek to commit its mysteries to paper. His name was Brushel? Brushel. 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 I think he remembers him. Doesn't look too happy about it. Brushel. That cloying smell of mint when he smiles, yes. Can you tell us more about him? What did he want? A man by that name called me on just now. Just now? Valent's vision is always toward tomorrow. Valent's feet step always forwards. That is all. That's all? Very confusing. I am to perform a big magic show, yes? I wanted someone to cover it. Yet, he had ears only for that incident. That incident? In any case, I requested that the rapacious reporter remove himself. So Painter has died. What of it? It is but a footnote in the footlights compared to the magic of Gramarye. Uncle Valen, do you know where the reporter went? I recommended he visit that place popular with penalized perpetrators. Yeah, he was a rude individual. Might I see that card? Sure. He would tear apart my respectability, I will tear apart him! Ooh, here it comes Apollo. Uncle Valen's big magic trick. Is he going to fix the card? Not sure that qualifies as big magic. I'm pretty sure he's just gonna throw it away. What happened to the big magic? Is it not more miraculous for it to stay ripped? They must have really not liked that journalist. Well, there goes that. Or I'm still supposed to be with Gramarye. Am I missing something again? Oh my god, why does life hate me so? Okay, fuck this. Where is... I don't know why I look at my history, I just prefer it this way. Where was the last time you did Apollo justice? Here it is. Alright. Trial investigation. Attention Center, Drew Studio. Big Magic Show, Magnify, Grammary, Performance Rights, present the Grammary, envelope. What? Okay. I was wondering if you could tell me about this. Aha! Why, that bears the Grammary seal! Uncle Val, is something wrong? Trucy, where did you get this? Huh? Daddy gave it to me. Your dad, partner, No, my other daddy, Phoenix Wright. Why now? Why would your Lord Daddy? This signature upon the back, do you recognize it? It belongs to none other than Zach Grammary. What? Daddy signed this? Might I be so bold as to open it? I'm sorry, but I can't let you do that. It's in this envelope, I wonder. Now, the time has come when I must return to make my prestidigitation preparations. By your leave, Miss Trucy. Thanks, Uncle Val. 3 days from now, make ready for a miracle. What do you think of that journalist he was after? Why did Val react like that to this envelope? I think it's time to pay the detention center another visit. I think I hear what you're saying. We're all doing it for the money. End quote. No, not at all. Looks like someone's already meeting here. Maybe that reporter? Why does he look so hateable? Hey there, how you doing? Who might you be? I'm Apollo Justice, attorney at law. Talk about a nervous monkey. You're Justice? You? You know me? Do I know you? Of course I know you! Stares down witnesses on stand till they spill beans! End quote. That's not true! What's he writing? Are you a reporter by any chance? Ooh, you're Trucy! Eh? Am I famous? Oh yeah! Trucy Wright hates carrying a bag. What's everything she owns in her panties? End quote. Eee, that's so not true! Just hold on to your breeches there. I'll wrap up this interview in a jiffy. Interview? So guys, I think I know what's going on here. Guarding rooms is my life? What else could I possibly need? End quote. No, how many times do I have to tell you this? Look, I've got work to do. You deal with him. Um, you come here to interview the guard. Ooh, what a pickle. Confused, wouldn't talk. Had to interview someone or go plumb crazy. Unquote. Huh. I just guessed. Where are my manners? Name's Brussel. Smart Brussel. I'm not picky. Journals just closes eyes, writes, and quote. It's that nauseatingly strong mint smell every time he grins. Until you've been interviewed by me, you don't know what thrilling it is. While drunk through crossroads of mayhem, madness, end quote. I can see that. He's writing something again. Oh, he's a reporter, maybe he knows something. So, Mr. Brussel, you're a journalist? Ah, me? Look, let me state one thing for the record here. Yes? I'm the interviewer, you understand, yeah? I'm the one asking the questions here. End quote. Okay. For instance, you think a movie director watches movies? Yeah. Exactly! I knew you'd understand. Huh? So, the night of the murder. You're at Drew's studio? Who, me? Look, let me state one thing for the record. Yes? I may look calm and collected, but I'm busy. Real busy. Always on the road. Journalists always buys one-way tickets. Never looking back. End quote. I can understand that philosophy, but... You want to know the thing about one-way tickets? Once you use them, they're gone. All because you have to give them to the guy at the airport. True enough. Don't they give normal tickets away too? Exactly! See? It's the same thing! What is... So, you want to do a story on Drew Mesham? And he'd never had a story done about him before? That's right! Look, let me state one thing for the record here. What? I'm sure you're going to want to know about my source. What tipped me off to Drew? Why do the interview in the first place? Well, yes? Look, it's like... Oh, I've got it! Say, there's this burger joint with a fabulous ketchup. You think the burger guy is going to tell me where he got it? At the supermarket, maybe? Exactly! See? That's what I'm talking about! I think I may have actually understood that one. Well, there's nothing I can talk about, really. Walls of ears, eyes, especially glass walls, with speakers, and quote. Right, guess we'll leave then. Ah, but since you're here, might as well tell you a bit of a tidbit of news I saw, just for the heck of it. Sure, tell us, just for the heck of it. I remember it like it was yesterday. I'd seen a movie on a trip, and wandered to this burger place with amazing ketchup, when an article in my tabloid caught my eye. Famous oil painting, stolen from art dealer's gallery, end quote, I believe it was. An oil painting? Happens every day, right? But I thought I'd seen that painting somewhere before. A painting of a giant peach floating down a river. Someone stole an oil painting of a giant peach? Journalists can smell scoop better than burgers, end quote. Alright, let me go on the record here. Yes? I know what you're going to say. Brussel, take this. Right, real and calm. End quote. I don't think so. Look, buddy, I write real columns about one thing, and that's food. Try to understand. Could it possibly be writing? Didn't listen to the word I said. What do I do now? God damn it. Okay, I don't think I can get anything out of him anymore. What the hell am I supposed to do now? Well, how'd it go? Find anything out? Actually, there's one thing I wanted to check with you. What's with that scary face you're making? What's with the I know something but I'm not telling face you've got going, Emma? Fuck life. I'm missing something again, aren't I? Oh. I'm an idiot. This painting came from behind that dresser. Ah, yes, so? It was stolen, no? I was hoping you wouldn't figure that out. Do you think you could tell us a bit about this? I suppose. It's what you think. Drew Misham was a forger. A forger? Nah, I did something weird with my tongue. Why can't I just eat and talk at the same time? So what exactly is a forger? Well, basically, it's someone who makes forgeries. Fakes, in other words. Fakes? Copies of an original. Exact copies, so precise you can't tell them apart. Well, why not just photocopy them? The big problem with forgeries is that people try to sell them as the real article. It's a crime, of course. So Drew Misham was a criminal? I'm afraid so. He received money to create elaborate forgeries. To supplement his work in illustration, I guess. I see. Actually, that's why I brought this here in the first place. What do you mean? When you're trying to determine if a painting is a forgery, the rough sketch underneath can be a valuable clue. So the rough sketch is like practice for the real thing. Doing a magic trick in front of the mirror before you on stage. But not in the case of a forgery, not necessarily anyway. You know what the finished product is going to look like after all. Oh, yeah, I guess you would. That's why I brought this. I'm going to use it to see what's under the paint of the finished pieces. I get it now. Now I really need to go to such lengths. Seeing as how one of the paintings was only half finished anyway. Still. It'd be neat to see Mr. Misham's rough sketches. That's like what he was drawing when he thought no one was looking. True, that would be interesting. It may be valuable for a case. Just try buttering her up, Apollo. Flattery will get you everywhere, they say. Oh my god, I don't want to see the rock sketch under this painting. I was wondering if your tool here might do the trick. Oh, fine, fine. Just this time, though. Let's check it out. Start with this. What the hell is this? Rockin'. Someone playing a guitar while on fire. Looks familiar. And he's on top of some sort of thing too. Huh, what the heck? Ah, he really blows. The finished painting isn't anything like the rough. Ah! On the past, you could only analyze the composition of a rough sketch. Composition? In other words, traces with charcoal between paint and canvas, so you could tell if there had been a rough sketch, but not what it looked like. Ah, I think I follow you. So in essence, it wouldn't matter what was underneath the finished painting. Some pros would actually paint out the rough sketch entirely, and do a completely new painting on top of that. So Mr. Mishan was drawing whatever he wanted before painting over them? Possibly. Is there a problem with that? Not particularly, but something about the sketch itself is kind of odd. You're awfully silent all of a sudden, Apollo. Think we could check out the other paintings? Well, sure. You like this detection stuff, don't you? Ah, no, why do I feel like I know what these three paintings are gonna have underneath them? That one looked like Gavin when his guitar got burned during the performance back in episode 3. Is this one gonna be the poker dealings in episode 1 or something? Oh my god! This one too. What's wrong, Apollo? You look so serious all of a sudden. You think I could just look at all the last of these? Fine by me, knock yourself out. This one's gonna have a noodle stand, isn't it? What the actual fuck? What the heck is all this? I hesitate to ask why you're getting so excited. You sure your device isn't leaking some kind of strange radiation? Juicy, look at these 3 sketches! Do you notice anything? Ah! There! Now you're both white as sheet, so what's going on? These sketches are of the 3 cases I worked on! What? The murder in the poker room at the Borch Bowl Club. The dead man pulling the noodle stand. And then the events that transpired during the Gaviners concert. What could it mean? How could he have painted those things? And why? That's what I want to know. Wait, is Drew Misham your father? Give me a break. Does that seem even remotely possible to you? Never even heard of Drew Misham before. Hadn't even seen a picture of him. There were my cases, drawn on his canvas. Every single one of them. Couldn't have been a coincidence. Just who was this Drew Misham? What did he have to do with me? Good morning. So, you're Vera, right? I'm Trucy. Trucy Wright. That's right with a W. But not right, right? We're on your side. You can tell us anything, please. Good morning. Not bad, not bad. I think you'd do better with a little smile, you know? You're so pretty. You need to sell yourself, you know? Druzy, let's take it easy for starters. Thank you for taking my case. Nice. She's like Ata no Kokoro. She can't make any faces, so she uses masks. Or in this case, she has a freaking sketch pad. Huh. Okay, well, that's a start, I guess. She goes with the nail polish again. That's great, really. So cultured. Want to try? Ooh, really? Girls. The victim, Drew Mitchum, was a forger. A stolen painting was found in a studio. A life of crime, really. Maybe one that led to his death. Well, we will now begin the trial of Vera Misha. Is the judge okay? Voice is all raspy. He's looking all around, nervous like. Ahem. The repercussions of today's trial will most likely be felt for a long time, and may indeed alter our legal system forever. Today is a test of the jurist system, and the first step towards a new order in our courts. Daddy's secret mission. The jurists will function like a jury. There's hope their inclusion will help the courts to better reflect the people's will. Why aren't there any jurists in the courtroom? 3 closed-circuit cameras watch this courtroom at all times. The jurists have access to everything that transpires. Jurists, judge, well, and judge cool. And now see here, Prosecutor Gavin, I was going to say that. My apologies, Herr Judge. Jurist today, judge today's trial coolly, if you would be so kind. Jurists are unbound by the letter of the law. They don't affect the trial with evidence but by their feelings. We're about to find out just what effect they're going to have. Very well, Prosecutor Gavin. The details of the case, if you would. The victim is the painter Drew Misham. He was killed in his own studio. His coffee was poisoned by whom, you ask? By none other than the defendant Vera Misham. There wasn't any poison in the coffee. A tongue. Someone has been doing their homework. Indeed, poison was not present in the coffee, but on the mug itself. The mug? Residue was found on the rim, I see. The autopsy report describes the manner of the victim's death. The courts accept this as evidence. Finally, an autopsy. According to this report, the victim's death was caused by atroquinine poisoning, a chemical compound that does not occur naturally. I was called by Mum. Anyway, where was I? I feel like there was something I wanted to do, but I forgot. A chemical compound that does not occur naturally. Lethal dosage is a mere 0.002 milligrams. A touch of atroquinine in the body. Oh, right. Speaking of atroquinine. Is the touch of the Reaper's scythe. Very well, Prosecutor Gavin. You may present your witness. After you today, a simple man for a simple case. A man who witnessed the murder in its entirety. The witness will state his name and occupation. Right. Well, for starters, my name is Spock Butchel. My job is a lone observer of the world. In other words, a freelance journalist, right? If you don't mind, I'd like to say something to you for the record. Yes, Mr. Burchell. I dislike conclusions, specifically the jumping to aspects of conclusions. Preconceptions make part sandbox of endless desert waste. End quote. But you are a journalist. You said so yourself yesterday. Well, that's true, yes. But you must understand, I stand before you today as a man with a dream. I'm offering you my testimony in exchange for exclusive rights to the story. Scoop turns Mr. Russell into that Mr. Russell. End quote. Let's hear your testimony then, shall we? Simple case, eh, Gavin? For me, the jury, Still out. I visited the studio at 9 o'clock that night to do the interview. The first outsider to enter the atelier, journalistic history made, end quote. His daughter bought us coffee right after we started. And you know what happened next? Star Falls, end quote. No one else entered the room besides her the whole time. That just sounds like a simple case. Unless you are the one who poisoned him. What are you saying, Judge? Need I remind you the cameras are rolling today? I felt the need to be a bit dramatic. Didn't do it, did you? Me doing like that? Come on, that's like newsmaker making news, end quote. Or even whenever I witch hunt, end quote. I know, while accusations rock courtroom, end quote. Rock indeed. Prosecutor Gavin sure looks like he's having fun. So happy for him. Very well, Mr. Justice. Your cross-examination, please. Nine o'clock at night? Isn't that a little late for an interview? If you wait when your broomism says come at 9 o'clock, believe you me, I go at 9 o'clock. The person, as it turns out, last interview with a prophetic painter. Alright, can you tell us what it was like when you arrived? You were the first reporter ever in Drew's studio. I bet he will look back on that night as a turning point in journalistic history. A basically insignificant step for all mankind, but a giant step for that Brussels guy. End quote. No one on the outside ever had access to the studio. Then it would serve to reason that the deed was done by an insider. For which he means Vera did it. So, how did this epoch-making interview go? Would you mind being a little more specific? Ooh-wee, let me tell you, I enjoy a cuppa. In fact, it all began when I was in 3rd grade. No wait, 4th grade. That's not what I meant. I believe I know what her forehead is driving at. This coffee the victim was served. Did anyone other than the defendant touch it? Right, that. That's what I was going to say, really. Well now, if you've got a question to ask, you'd best straight up ask it. It's what I tell all the new recruits, several times if necessary. Right for a grade schooler. That's my motto. Which isn't to say I can only write grade... Who touched the coffee? Dunno. That's in the back, looking at the studio equipment when she served it. And what happened next? What's this about a star falling? Star falls, huh? It's like an old telegram. Send money, over. Zowie, you don't know. It's like a journalism code word. An important personage passes away, a star falls, get it? But there's no gravity in space, is there? I wouldn't think stars could fall, really. Does this matter? Oh boy, this is good stuff, good stuff. How about star breaks? Nah, like sponge. I know. Star dies. Nah, like imagination. Of course, you could go with Drew dies. Straight to the point, I like it. I think we need to hear more about something a little more substantial. So, you drank the coffee that Ver served you too? Of course. When someone serves you coffee, you drink it. That's what my old boss always used to say. Never did get what he meant by it, though. But you're still alive, which is to say you didn't die. Of course not! No point. Falling before you're a star, I'd quote. That's not exactly what I was getting at. What were you getting at then? You know the poison was on the rim, not in the coffee. Oh yes. There were 2 cups on the tray she brought, and one of the cups had Drew's signature painted on the side. Hmm. A chance the guest would take that one by mistake, I guess. Well, Mr. Justice, was that testimony important? We're talking about the coffee the witness drank. I'd say that is important. Very well. Please add that to your testimony, Mr. Bushel. What? Way to go, Gavin. Hmm. Because that couldn't have been immediate, right? There we go. You know what I have a problem with? A particular property of that poison used, atroconine. Oh, Prosecutor Gavin was quite clear about the poison. A lethal dosage of 0.002 milligram paralyzes the central nervous system. If you drank that, even you, Mr. Justice, would be reduced to a quivering pile. Are you using me as an example? Unfortunately, we weren't told everything. There's a vital omission in Prosecutor Gavin's information. An omission? Atroconine is as virulent as he says, but death doesn't come upon ingestion, not immediately. That's because atroconine is slow-acting. Slow-acting? What? According to one forensic scientist. We suppose that the moment Mr. Misham sipped the coffee was when he sealed his fate, and he would still have had time left to enjoy his last cup of joe. Order! Order! What's the meaning of this? What the defense says is correct. Why, that contradicts the entire testimony we've just heard! Oh, Mr. Russell? Anything to say on the record? Slow acting. Slow act. That's violent, alright. Given that, I've begun digging its cause into the journalist. He's working on us too. It's Brushel, Ja. Herb Brushel. Let's take a trip back down memory lane. Huh? The victim really died the instant he took a sip. Think it over. This is vital. You know what I think? I think that was that's a subliminal suggestion. Unquote. Admit it does cause a problem if he died when you say he died. I would be forced to say auf what is hand to my simple case. You would be forced to say farewell to your article. I'm sorry if I butchered the pronunciation of that. Come again? You can't write a story based on conjecture, can you? As the case drags on, other reporters will pick up the scent. And you'll be forced to kiss your exclusive scoop goodbye. Scoop! Scoop! Look, wait! Just wait! A second! Just 1 second! We're waiting! Out with it! I think I just realized a so-called important detail. A revival of recollection, end quote! A story survival, end quote! Attorney utterly confused, end quote. Actually, I did notice something when I visited the studio. I heard a poison that takes its sweet time, you see? But not what I've been saying for the last few minutes, apparently. Mr. Brushel, are you not saying you noticed something that explains what happened? You bet I am. The antidote for a poisonous contradiction. End quote, you might say. I still have no idea what you're talking about. End quote, I might say. I figured it out, but only after an in-depth interview. See, thanks to my journalism skills, I know who poisoned that coffee. Order! 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 As far as I can tell, the witness is standing by his testimony, and Mr. Misham died the instant after he drank. Of course I'm standing by my testimony, and my dream of exclusive rights to the story. I suppose it was too much to hope for. What was? Of course, he wouldn't choose a simple case, not him. Him? Phoenix Wright, who else? Actung, Herb Brushel, report for us if you would. What is it that you noticed? This court is a critical trial of the jury system. I'm afraid no room for doubt is permissible. You will testify to the court about what you noticed. When I arrived at the studio, I was very much at this. You seem to be writing a letter. I take to see the letter. I thought nothing of it at the time, of course. Now to think about it, but if he was writing a suicide note. A suicide note? Yes, he had this look on his face. Man's face, inscrutable as a quadratic equation. End quote. Suicide? Poor Mr. Misham. That means Varys innocent. Someone commits suicide in the middle of an interview? Oh. Very well, you may begin your cross-examination. Is there anyone at the studio other than Mr. Misham? Well, it's Dr. Vera, of course. Is anyone besides Mr. Misham and Vera present? Not a single one. Not a cat, not a rat, not even a mouse. The only person who didn't belong to that studio there was you, wasn't it, Mr. Russell? I know what you're doing. I know your game. Attorney uses classic Ramsden phenomenon ploy. End quote. If you intend to suggest that this reporter is a suspect, I'm sure you also intend to present evidence supporting that assertion, correct? In the meantime, let's move along, shall we? Now, as much as I hate him, sad to say he doesn't have anything to do with the murder. As it just so happens, there was a single letter in the desk jar at the scene. In a red envelope! What? Prosecutor Gavin. Yes. Was a yellow envelope found at the scene of the crime? Unfortunately, no. But her forehead, it's easy to mistake the color for an envelope. I guess, but not this envelope. See, it was postmarked already, 7 years ago. Well, Mr. Marshall, I can explain that. You're right. You want to get that letter in an envelope pronto. Get it out of my sight. Get it outside of my beady eyes, right? So I got the nearest envelope and grabbed away. What about the whole red and yellow envelope contradiction, chump? Well, Mr. Justice, have you anything to say to the witness's claim? That night, the victim put a letter he had been writing on a red envelope. That's impossible. Ah, I like your expression. Too full of confidence. It's simple, really. It just so happens, the defense team investigated the contents of this envelope with the assistance of a forensic scientist. What? Note that this letter is addressed to Drew Misham. Oh! Why would he address a letter to himself? Let alone send a suicide note to himself. I've been scooped! Order! 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 Mr. Brushel, can you explain this to the court? Oh my. How could I have forgotten? I suppose to have it to the best of us. Forget all at all. Forget lots. And quote, I'm still waiting for an explanation, Mr. Brushel. Well, that's the thing, see? After he put this letter in that envelope, Mr. Mitchum sat there searching his desk drawer for something. His desk drawer? Yes, a stamp. A so-called postage stamp. End quote. A stamp? Whatever for? Well, to mail his letter. What else? And then, why yes, I think I saw him put it in his letterbox. Yes, it was a yellow envelope. And he put it in that box. Well, apparently, this yellow letter has nothing to do with this case. Oh, how I wish it did. Just think of it. What suicide? What start? Start right suicide note. In front of reporter. Pause. End quote. As I was saying, that has nothing to do with this case. That said, yes, Your Honor. Makes me wonder about the contents of that red envelope. $100,000 is quite a good deal of money. So this was 7 years ago, Ja. So, am I finished here? Am I finished here? I was thinking of, going home to start writing. I hate to state what should be pretty obvious to anyone. But when you catch the scent of a story, you make that a rather unique face. Come on! Attorney has active imagination, little else. End quote. Even I noticed something and my R's aren't what they used to be. I'm starting to understand what all this perceiving stuff is about. Judge has active imagination. End quote. Please continue with your testimony. Tell us about the scent of a story. Hey, I'm the one asking the questions here. Usually.